2, 3, 4, 5. Welcome into Walk the Line. Well, I'm your host, OG Chris Murray, giving you my Dynasty Madden League Week 2 picks. A lot of explosive action in Week 1, so without holding you guys on, we're going to dive right into these picks. Alright, first up we have Hamilton and the Minnesota Vikings versus Taz and the Detroit Lions. Hamilton and the Minnesota Vikings last year started off the first half of the season like a team on a mission. However, the second half, they seemed to fall completely off the map. In their Week 1 matchup, Mr. Kirk Cousins could not figure out how to not turn over the ball, throwing a total of 6 interceptions. He's not looking like the guy that they gave that big cash cow to. Hamilton is going to have to figure out how to take care of the ball if he plans on producing W's this season. On the other note, we have Taz and the Detroit Lions coming off of a good game last week, even though they fell short to Mo Booker and those Green Bay Packers. They could not seem to figure out how to stop the run last week. This week, they should not have a problem or issue with that because the Vikings will be without their star running back, David Cook. If Taz can come out and bring that same offensive mindset that he had in that Week 1 matchup against the Green Bay Packers, I can see him coming out with this victory. Vegas has this game favored to the Detroit Lions -3. With this pick, I'm going to have to take Taz and the Detroit Lions getting the W going into Week 3. Next up, we have under 2 rated in the Washington Redskins versus tight work in the Miami Dolphins. Under 2 rated in the Washington Redskins. I tip my hat off to y'all for the game plan that y'all had based around Alex Smith. In that Week 1 matchup, Alex Smith flat out looked like a field general. He controlled the game. He came out, took what the defense gave to him, and the key thing in that Week 1 victory was no turnovers. No turnovers. However, you're facing a defense this week with tight work in those Miami Dolphins who live off of making users turn the ball over. If it ain't broke tight work, don't try to fix it. Lean on what you know. Defense calls turnovers. Vegas has this game favored to the Miami Dolphins -8.5 points. I'm going to this is a good one. With this pick right here, I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins getting the W over the Washington Redskins. Next up, we have Flair and the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Schemer and the New England Patriots. With this Pittsburgh Steelers team, I can't understand how last week Mr. Antonio Brown, 99 himself, played 47 downs and only finished the game with a total of 11 receiving yards. I don't understand that. I don't know what's going on out there in Pittsburgh, but I'm mind bottled. I can't understand why it's so hard to get this guy Antonio Brown going, man. I just don't understand it. The Schemer in the New England Patriots, Andrew Luck debut as a New England Patriot last week was flat out horrible. He finished the game with a 34 passing rating, 4 interceptions, and 0 touchdowns. Losing Fuller this offseason really showed in a Week 1 matchup. You know, they could not stop the passing game. And missing Fuller in that secondary really showed. This game right here, man, this could be a potential who's going to have the first round overall draft pick come this offseason, how both of these teams looked in that Week 1 matchup. Vegas has this game favored with the Schemer and the New England Patriots -4.5. This is going to be an ugly game. All right. Next up, we have moving on. Next up, we have the Shit Bowl game. First Shit Bowl game of Season 2. We have Flair and the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Schemer and the New England Patriots. Now, both of these teams struggled in the Week 1 matchup. Both of them took a L. Just a couple key things to point out on both sides. Flair, the Pittsburgh Steelers. What I can't understand out there in Pittsburgh is, how does Antonio Brown, Mr. 99 himself, plays a total of 47 downs, and finished the game with only 11 receiving yards? How is that? The people would like to know. The Pittsburgh Steelers fans would like to know, why is it so hard to get this man going? He is a 90% of your offense, and if he cannot get going, y'all will not win games. Flat out. The Schemer New England Patriots, Andrew Luck, in his debut as a New England Patriot, was flat out horrible. Finished the game with a passing rating of 34%, 4 interceptions, and 0 touchdowns. Losing Fuller in that secondary this offseason that just passed showed a big gray area in that secondary. Now, they could not stop the passing game out there against the New York Jets. They got ripped to shreds. Vegas has this game as the Schemer and the New England Patriots favored -4.5 points. I'm going to pick against Vegas, and I think that Flair will come out and get a W heading into Week 3. Next up, we have KP and the Kansas City Chiefs versus Darkness and the Tennessee Titans. KP's coming off a dominant Week 1 victory over JB Blazin and the Denver Broncos, putting a total of 404 offensive yards. But the key to their Week 1 victory was not the offense, it was the defense, causing 8 turnovers. They're going up against a struggling Tennessee Titans team this week, who last week got handed a nice hot box of Krispy Kreme donuts. Tennessee offense has so much talent, but they cannot seem to find a scheme that fits their game style. I think this is going to be a walk in the park for KP. Vegas has this game favored -15 points, with the Kansas City Chiefs, of course, being a favorite. I'm going to take those 15 points. I think KP is going to win by a large margin, getting a W going into Week 3. Next up, we have Matty Lowe and the Baltimore Ravens versus SJ and the Houston Texans. Matty Lowe's coming off of a bloody toe-to-toe fight against the Cleveland Browns, getting a W. It was a tough matchup. He showed resistance, and he just stayed in the game. He stayed in the game. Showed that he could take a punch. But this week he's going up against SJ and those Houston Texans, man, who look like they're a team that felt like they fell short of their goal last year. Matty Lowe, Lamar Jackson. He's coming off of a solid rookie season. Stick to the script. You have to make Lamar Jackson do it all. Just simple as that. How this offense is built right now, Lamar Jackson has to do it all. But you have to figure out how to do it all without not trying to do too much. SJ and these Texans, y'all going up against an offensive line who gave up 7 sacks last week. I'm expecting a big game from Clowney. I'm expecting a big game from J.J. Watt. Bring your aprons because it's going to be time to eat. Vegas has SJ and the Houston Texans -4. I'm going to take that. SJ's getting a W going into week 3. Next up, we have C-Rob and the Carolina Panthers versus T-Pain and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Carolina Panthers, man, shut the Seattle Seahawks down. They shut them down on their week 1 victory. Russell Wilson looked like a boy amongst men out there. It just was crazy. C-Rob put together a solid defensive game plan, taking out, pretty much eliminating Bash, the star wide receiver that came from out of Miami. He executed a solid game plan, and he made Russell Wilson have to think, taking away his first read and his second read. He got real creative with disguising his blitzes. He's going up against this week a Tampa Bay team, man, that just flat out struggled. They flat out struggled in their week 1 matchup. Vegas has this game favored with C-Rob -4. I think Vegas got this one wrong, man. I think T-Pain is going to eliminate the memory of that week 1 loss and come out with a clean slate, and execute a solid game plan, getting the W going into week 3. Next up, we have Skill Trade and the Buffalo Bills versus Rich 215 and the New York Jets. Okay. The Jets, this Jets team, you never know what you're going to get. You don't know if this Jets team, this Bills team is going to come out and compete or get a 50 clip dropped on their head. Rich 215 made his debut last week against the schemer New England Patriots, and he flat out said, "I'm here." That was his introduction. He said, "I'm here." Dropping 29 points on the schemer head and not allowing him to put up not near a point. The talent that New York Jets team lack, is a question mark. It's a flat out question mark. Can this team compete throughout a full season? But he's going up against a Buffalo team that I don't think is built as far as matching him toe-to-toe with stick skills. Vegas has the New York Jets favored 12 points. So, this is going to be a close game. I don't think that the New York Jets is going to run away with this one. If the Bills can come out and be a team that looks like they want to play this season. But with this pick, I'm going to take Rich 215 New York Jets getting the W going into week 3. Next up, we have Westside Pablo and the New York Giants versus Moby and the Green Bay Packers. Wow. Westside Pablo. Wow. This New York Giants team, man, so much talent. But last week, this team looked flat out horrible. Too many rookie mistakes, throwing multiple interceptions. Mr. Saquon Barkley was a ghost. Odell Beckham, another ghost. The defense can easily bust this game wide open. Vegas has Moby and the Green Bay Packers as the favorite, -3 points. I'm going to take the Packers with this pick, heading into week 3 with the W. Next up, we have the Big Homie and the Cincinnati Bengals versus Guwap and the Arizona Cardinals. Baker Mayfield did not look like the number 1 overall pick in his week 1 matchup against the Oakland Raiders. He flat out looked like a 7th overall pick. Guwap and the Arizona Cardinals looked spectacular last week against the New York Giants. But this is a team that we seen the spark from before. We seen the high power offense get going. We seen the shutdown defense shut people out. But can this Arizona Cardinals team stay consistent? Can they figure out somehow, some way to bring that momentum they had in that week 1 matchup against the New York Giants into this matchup and dominate this game how they dominated the week 1 game? Vegas has Guwap and the Arizona Cardinals as the favorite, -1 point. I don't think Guwap gets the job done this week. And with this pick, I'm going to take the big homie in the Cincinnati Bengals getting a W over the Arizona Cardinals. Next up, we have Nasty Noop and the Atlanta Falcons versus Sweets 99 and the San Francisco 49ers. Is there such thing as too much talent on a roster? Because the Atlanta Falcons, man, has so much talent that I think that it's causing a problem out there in Atlanta. You know, on paper, this is the top 3. In my opinion, on paper, this is a top 3 offense in the DML right now. Like, hands down. You know, they acquired tight end David Njoku to pair him up with Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Tevin Coleman, Deontay Freeman. This team, flat out on paper, is a top 3 offense in the DML. But for some reason, when they seem to get on the field, it's a total different story. You know, he's going up against a San Francisco 49ers team that pretty much played the exhibition game last week against the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know, Sweets 99, you're going to have to figure out how to get your key guys going. Someone such as a Marquise Goodwin. You cannot think that if he's coming away with 16 receiving yards, that's going to cut it in this matchup. It's not. You're going up against a solid Atlanta Falcons team. You got to get the key guys going. You know, Vegas has the 49ers favorite -6 points. I think the Atlanta Falcons, man, this offense gets going. It comes away from... Oh, fucking up.